Come with me to show you how I made this little art piece inspired by Shawn Mendes' latest album, Shawn. It all started when I went to the thrift store and I found this little leaf dish for $1. I felt like it fit the aesthetic of the album, so I brought it home and I cleaned it. After it was clean, the next thing I did was sand it down just to give the smooth surface a little bit of grit so it can cling and hold on to anything that we put on it. The leaf really just reminded me of the aesthetic of the album, and I wanted to incorporate that into this little art piece I was doing just because he's always in the woods and it's very nature based. Speaking of the aesthetic, I made a Google Doc and then I went to Pinterest finding all the visuals and everything I could that represents this album. Once I was satisfied with the final pictures, I went and I printed them out. I thought black and white would look the best. I tried to use visuals from the music videos, from the photo shoots, and from the live shows. Then came the tedious work of cutting out all of those pictures one by one. Something about me is I always see Shawn's albums as different seasons for some reason, and I see Shawn being the end of summer into fall, so I just feel like the leaf and the whole aesthetic with it really fits. Not to mention, this album was super raw and vulnerable. It was very beautiful coming from his heart, from somebody who lost themselves to rediscovering themselves in a happier version, which I really loved. After all the pictures were cut out, now it was time to glue all of them onto the leaf. To do that, I'm just taking some Mod Podge, I'm gonna add some to the back of each picture, and just stick it where I want it to make the little collage. The one thing I truly loved about this album was how it was so authentically him, back to his roots. I loved how he included a lot of his friends like Mike Sabbath and Eddie Benjamin, along with his family. It just really was so authentically him and his soul. As you can see, I got one done and time to do the rest. Of course, I just repeated this process over and over until I got the final collage with how I liked it. Once I finally was satisfied with how it looked, I wanted to go in with some of this gold leaf to add some pizzazz. I just took some Mod Podge and I was just sticking it in random places. Gold leaf is super finicky, so I always say wherever it lands, it just pretty much lands. And by the time I was done with it, I was pretty happy of where it landed, so it worked out. This was the final look with the gold leaf. I even took a little bit and just kind of sprinkled it on for those little tiny flakes. I thought what would look good is adding a gold border around, so I took this oil-based gold Sharpie and I began to add a little golden border around the collage. Once that was done, I took one of these little white hearts from this white confetti and I painted it gold, because Heart of Gold, get it? It's one of the songs. I'm so hilarious. Anyways, I'm gluing that onto the stem, which I also repainted brown. I've been listening to his music for over a decade, and I don't know why I see his albums as the 4 seasons, but Handwritten is fall, Illuminate is winter, Shawn Mendes is spring, Wonder is summer, and Shawn is just summer going into fall. I don't know why I see it like that, but I do. You can also see me trying not to burn myself using hot glue. Finally, the very last step is to use Mod Podge to seal everything in, just so our artwork is sealed and nothing bad is going to happen to it. You can see it's moving because it's very hard to do this with one hand, but once I finally did it, this is the finished product. I hope that you all like it. It can be used as like a little trinket dish, or you can just hang it up, but I personally love it. I love all of his music as a whole. He's a very talented artist, and I can't wait for his next album.